Welcome everybody to another Average Angler video. We're at Shiplate Farm today. It's the fourth round of Matt Colpin's Teams of Three League. I haven't done so well. I fished round one and round three and I haven't done so well in either of them, so I'm hoping to do a bit better today. Thought I'd do a little video. I don't normally do this when I get here, but the weather forecast isn't brilliant. It's absolutely lashed it down all the way here, but it's just broken once I've got here. I can see a bit of blue sky. Forecast is it's going to be drier until the end of the day when it's going to start lashing it down again. But if it stays dry like this, it's going to be much nicer to fish in, so that'll be good. I don't mind a little bit of wind. I've got, hopefully I can work around that. It's not a problem as long as it's not absolutely incredible. So I just thought I'd do a little bit of footage just as an intro, just in case we don't get much while we're fishing, but it should be all right now. I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about getting some good footage than I was 20 minutes ago when I left the house. So next time you see me, we'll have found out what peg we're on, and I'll be just doing a little intro into the peg that I've drawn and how I'm feeling. So thanks for tuning in, and see you in like a millisecond. Hello everyone. Well, seems I was nice and relaxed when I got here because I thought I was here early and I was actually here late. And so I'm actually been late setting up. So I literally couldn't do my little intro, but I don't need to. Look back at the first round in this league and you'll see the peg that I'm on, which is not 13 again. At the moment I can't see anything to my right here, but what I'm planning on doing, this sun's going to move and I can fish this spot. So what I'm planning on doing at the minute is feeding this spot as my heavier, more aggressively fed line. I feel like skimmers is going to be massive today, so I'm fishing for silvers quite aggressively. I'm going to catch silvers, might as well catch them aggressively. Everybody's going to go gently, 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 and I'll have a gently, gently, gently line as well. I'm putting 3 big balls down this right hand side with a bit of loose. I should put some loose feed in separate. That's nice. On this left hand side, I'm just going to put one ball because I want to fish on that straight away. So I'm fishing, I've got 2 lines set up, I've got 2 rigs for the line, so I've got on the deck 0.4 gram on the deck, and then I've got a 0.4 gram on the deck and I've got a 0.2 gram dropping through the water. Maggot rigs really, I'm expecting to catch on maggot, but I've also got expander if I want to try it. So I'm putting a big cup of maggot in also now, but on this right hand side I'll fed them groundbait balls first. I can just put this straight over the top of them groundbait balls because I can see where they're fizzing. And that is literally a leave it for a couple of hours job. The other line I'm not going to put any baiting, so I'm going to put that in through a kinder cut a little bit at a time and just be really, really negative. So yes, I put a big ball of ground baiting but with no feed. So he's super negative. And then I've got a longer pole line which I'm going to put in a ball of soaked 1 mil. Nice ball of soaked 1 mil pellets on, and that's in the hope that maybe out there's a chance of a carp. This line further out's a lot deeper, so it's got its own rig. It's very, at the moment it's only just got the one very positive rig, just for fishing on the deck with an expander. But we will we'll see, the wind's already getting up out here, so I don't want to commit too much bait to it. Well, I'm trying to get some fish to come in short later on. Oh shit, the bed. It just happened there, the pole's just snapped. This is not good. Must have had a weakness in it. Luckily it's floating. This is not a fantastic start because I've just weighed him. I've just done all my sections and now I don't know where I've just. Well, that's just a clean break. I've never known anything like it. Right then, everybody. What's just happened there? I'm turning the camera off so I can sort it out. Was my pole decided to just fold whilst I was cupping out on the long line, which isn't brilliant. So my pole is basically just broken under the weight of the cup, probably because it had a crack in it or something I wasn't aware of. I've managed to telescope the section because it was such a clean break, so I'm still using the section, but now it's significantly shorter than it was. So to combat that, I've got some little stumpy butts that go on my pole, like butt sections. So I've got one of them out and then I'll put that on the end. You see it here on the camera. He goes on the end. And so he'll just push me back out to where I would have been if I'd have had that section on, hopefully. And then we're going to start on this left-hand line. So we put a barrel of ground bait in, but we haven't put any bait in that ball of ground bait. Just trying to draw some fish in. And I'm probably going to have to put some shots on the rig, but I haven't. I'm not sure yet. Oh, it's gone straight under with a small fish. That's nice. Nice start. So this will be a roach of some description. We'll take what we can get to start us off. So first puts a roach I'll do. So if there's a few of them there, I'm quite happy to put another pinch of maggots in. A few live maggots. Just putting a pinch in through me little pot, sprinkling them down. I'm expecting a few silvers with maggots. And, you know, if things get tough, I can put an expander on if I can't get through the small stuff. But you know, we've got a long way to go yet. We've got several hours and we can work it out as we go. Right guys, we're all just about half an hour in. I ain't come off this left hand line, so I've had a bite every single time I go in. Double maggot seems to be better. I've tried a maggot and a pinky and I just get ragged out by tiny little fish. But what I've had to push the shots even further down, even more positive, to try and get through the roach and the tiny eyeballs that are there. It's using quite a big pot full every time because there's a lot of small mouths there, so I'm not worried about me overfeeding at the minute. And what I'm finding is that I can pick up the odd skimmer if I can get the rig to the bottom without it getting intercepted by too many little eyeballs. So I picked up 3 skimmers. They're not massive ones by the standard of this fishery, but you know, they're skimmers. They weigh a little bit. This is what I've got to try and avoid, these little dudes. I'm kind of hoping these will just come off the deck to set the bait, and I can bomb past them and get the skimmers on the deck. I mean, they're mashing up a double maggot on a size 18 Kaizen. I'm just going to up my feed a little bit because I've had a couple of skimmers and they're definitely down there on that. My brain's thinking it's half an hour gone. I should probably go out and have a look over the line that I'll put the pellet on, which I probably will. After this one more fish, I'm going to have a really quick look on that longer line because I can't keep leaving it to have a look. Yes, I might miss a couple of skimmers, but I don't feel like I'm missing. It's big weight at the minute. They're not big. If I started looking proper skimmers, I'd just sit on it for a bit. But I'm just catching, you know, very odd fish. Well, the sun is slowly moving away from my right hand line, so I'll be able to fish that soon, the next sort of half an hour, which is what I want to do. I want to leave at least an hour. If these other two lines produce, I can leave it longer. Yeah, a couple of these eyeballs like to get in the way. So I'm still tempted to have another fish. I'm gonna have another go. You see, this is bad news. I think I need to be coming off this. One more. Just in the interest of getting plenty of feed in there when we come off it. So we will put, like, you know, I might just actually put a little sprinkle of bait over it actually, because there's so many fish there. I don't feel like it's a problem. I just need to give them skimmers a reason to hang around. I might even drop a few micros on this line, the way things are going. Fish are feeding, that's for sure. These small fish, I ain't seen any carp caught on this lake, but I knew I wouldn't early on. Just keeping an eye out for when the carp start to feed. It's lovely and sunny at the moment. I don't think the forecast is for it to stay like this. It's quite windy already when you got the pole at 30 metres and 14 metres, so it's going to be worse. Once the wind picks up, so if I'm going to catch on that longer line, I need to catch on it early, because I might get forced off it with the wind later on, or I might have to throw a method over it or something. Don't really want to have to do, but you know, needs must sometimes. Right, I think we've got the bait to the bottom this time, so maybe. No, missed whatever that was. The sun is beautiful at the moment, but I don't know how long it's going to last. I can feel the wind's already 10%, 20% stronger than it was 15 minutes ago. This is my last one. If I don't look this coming back. Has got through again. It's still a small fish though. It's time to go out along the line. He's come off because I wasn't paying attention. Time to come out along the line and have a little look. I'm going to top that up. Early signs have been positive, and I'm not going to go mad. I'm just going to put on it a couple of big pinches and a little bit of micro, just to hold whatever while I'm out there having a go. Maybe I'll, be able to prime it ready for when I come back. I might be able to skimmer off it. The deeper rig on. I'm going to go out with an expander. I'll find where they are. Nice and positive with a big expander to start with, nice 6mm. Just proper skimmers out there now, just bang that. Gone. Just put that on. There are carp porpoising out in front of me in the open water, so there is an option at some point to just chuck the method out there. So I've gone out there with one of my AS5s on because they've got the slightly thicker tip. It's hollow in the sunshine. It's had it straight away. So in the sunshine it's hollow. Sorry, it's a bristle, hollow bristle, so in the sunshine it glows up a bit better, and it rains like this when it's windy like it is. And everything's everything's hard to see because it's all ripply. That hollow tip just stands out well. So, as I said, they're not shy about taking these bigger pellets, these skimmers, if they're on it. This elastic's a little bit tight. It's the same elastic as short, but it is set a little bit tighter in this kit. I've probably shortened it a couple of times because the end's been worn out or something. Which is probably not the best kit to have selected for fishing at distance, trying to bring skimmers in, but it is what it is now. So I'm just literally holding the bulk over where the bait went in, where I put the bait in, and then just letting it drop straight down. So I know that I'm fishing on the spot. It actually fished itself quite well. After my rig tie-in video, I had somebody ask me about, do you put back shots on when you're tying your rigs and stuff, and you should put back shots on in the winter because it helps roll the rig still. I do use back shots, but I don't use them all the time. If I put the rig in and it sits and it fishes, then I don't see the point in putting a back shot on. If this rig started pulling through like it might do later on, if the wind gets up, then a back shot might help me. But at the minute I can just put this rig in. I can just put this rig in like I am there, and once it's settled it seems to just be sitting. It's not pulling through, it's not doing anything I don't want it to do, so I'm happy. I'm not worried about hitting bites and stuff like that. I haven't got that much slack in the line. I know that people worry about them sort of things, and they're probably quite right too as well. But when you're fishing for skimmers, it's either on or it ain't. And we've had another skimmer, so that's 2 and 2 puts on over that bit of pellet. So at the moment, I'm learning that pellet. The cold is letting me down a lot today. I'm learning that pellet seems to be giving me a quicker response than maggot. So when I go on that left-hand line later, where I've been catching with the maggot, I'm going to switch to a pellet on the hook, and if that works, I might even, I might still, if that works with the maggot, I might still feed the maggot. If it works with the if it doesn't, then I'll put some pellet through. What I like about the maggot is you can feel a lot more of it, because you don't feel the fish up as much. So if I can catch these fish closer, I'll be a happy boy. At the minute they're just a little bit small to be catching at this range, but I'm catching something, which is more than most people on this lake at the moment. But that doesn't mean I'm going to win anything, because once the carp start feeding they're going to catch me up, and I've got to be ready to switch things around and start catching some carp if I need to. Very, very sunny out there. I might have to get my floppy out in a minute. It's nice, it's making my yellow tip stick out like a beacon. I can really see it really well. I can see it disappear really well, which is what I want to be seeing. This is very positive, straight on the deck rig. Strung out bolt quite close to the hook length and just waiting for a positive indication. I don't want to be messing about this range, striking at loads of bites and striking the pellet off. I just want to hook one, bring it back if I'm going to. It's like there's no numbers of fish out there really, they're just nicking the odd fish. And you can't get a bite. I'm tempted to swap that over to a maggot line, I think I might do. That's what I'm about to do now, I think. I'm going to top that up with this time, I'm going to top it up with ground bait and maggots. But actually, I might just put ground bait and pellets in. I might keep with the pellets, but this time I'm just going to put some ground bait in instead, so I can feed it a bit more aggressively. Again, just a little nugget. And draw a few more skimmers and just hold a few more in that spot. Sprinkle the micros. Just see if that improves anything. And then we're gonna have a look down this left hand line. We just topped up before we went out on the long line. It's interesting, I seem to get a quicker bite on one red maggot, one white maggot. I've tried one red maggot and a pinky, not as good. I've tried double red, it's not as good, but red and white seems to be better. I haven't tried double white, because it might just be the white maggot that's making the difference. It might just be more visible. It might just be all in my head, as it can often be. Let's put that rig straight in. Straight down where the ground bait top up ball went in. So remember, we put a ball of ground bait down in the top up. I can't even remember. Oh, rig's not settled because the leaves have all of a sudden decided to enter the. You've had a load of leaves hit the water all of a sudden. This causing me occasional problems getting the rigs through. It's not loads of them, but you can't see them because of the light levels. Oh, it's gone straight down that time. Didn't strike me as a skimmer bite, it struck me as a roach bite. One of those sort of just a really fast jab. But we'll see in a minute. Something's definitely come over the ground bait. We did put, I think we put a pinch of maggots in this time. Maybe that's what's brought them roach back in. Let's settle in again now. No, that's what was holding the rig up. Just get the boat. Looks alright from this range. I might have lost a magwar. So, it's kind of worked to plan so far, as in I went out and had a skimmer, like I said I would. I was hoping to have two, so that didn't quite work as well as I wanted it to. And I was hoping to come down to the left here and up two better skimmers straight away, but that hasn't happened either. I've got my 3 lines going in the fish on. I'm just trying to work out how to nick a fish off each one. Don't believe it, guys. I turned you off and look what's happened. I've hooked something better. Put you back on quickly and hopefully I don't lose this fish while I'm just about trying to turn the cameras back on. Literally took 30 seconds from when I spoke to you. And that's nice, that. So that's kind of demonstrating it. I'm starting to find some predictability. This could be one of the better ones of the day. Yeah, I've had 2 or 3 of these. This will be my 3rd one this big. And they're just coming to that ball of ground bait, definitely. Just that little nugget of ground bait, enough to drag them in. So, I made you wait and wait and wait, but we got it in the end. We got the result that I said, that we'd go out there, catch a skimmer, then we'd come in and catch one of the better ones on this. And that's not any sort of special tactic that I've worked out that works. That's just what's worked. That's just what's happening today. It's just what's been happening. And it's just starting to get a little bit predictable. What I found is if I start putting maggots in through the toss pot, I just have issues with fish coming off. So I don't do that. I start having issues, not with fish coming off, with loads of small fish in the swim. I start getting issues with smaller fish in the swim. There's a few bubbles at the back of the swim just popped up there. This left-hand line. So there's another. At least one of the big fish in the swim. Oh, there we are. Another one straight away. It's like he suddenly just turned up. Oh, I lost him. Maybe he was fouled up. That's not what you want, really. You don't want to be losing them skimmers. Folded over the up point, so he's probably up fair and square. He just folded over the up point. That's a shame. Quite frustrating. I've not hooked a lot of these better fish, and then for that type, and it's quite frustrating. And that can actually end up spooking all the fish and causing you all sorts of problems with these skimmers. Definitely fish coming back after a top up. So it's interesting. I might pop back out onto that long line after. When this line dies, I'm going to top up my right line. I'm going to top up my right hand line, but I'm going to go out on my longer line where I've already topped up. I topped it up and come in and fished on this. I topped this up, went out and fished the longer line, had a couple of fish, or had 1 fish, and it's not right. So I've topped up the longer line again. I'll come down and fish this, and after topping it up, I've hooked 2 better fish reasonably quickly. So that tells me that they're coming to that bit of feed. You might get a couple of fish and then they're gone again. So I've got to now try and, maybe I can try and work something out where I top up, move to the next one, top up, move to the next line, and start cycling for a few fish. Little touch on this one. There we are. That's another better fish. Feels like another better fish, this one. A little weird bite that was, very delicate. Very delicate bite. Such for a better fish. Well, there's definitely something in that, isn't there? He's not as big as the last one. But he's a skimmer. That's what we want. I listen to people saying, oh, Martin's on his second carp that I know of. Working hard trying to land that one. So you let me carry on, guys, and I'll catch you back up if this tactic works. Right, guys, just netting this skimmer. That's the third skimmer I've had in 3 puts on that right hand swim. Well, balled in loads and loads and loads of bait. So what happened after I turned you off, I went down to that left hand side, had a couple of fish, it got hard. So then I went out over the long line where I'd put that nugget of ground bait, thinking, well, Yeah. Maybe where I've put that nugget of ground bait out there, the same as I've been putting nugget of ground bait down the left, it'll just happen, but it didn't. Tried with an expander, tried with the maggots, didn't happen. So I've topped that back up with some maggots, and then I've had a quick look on the left hand line. I had a couple of small fish, but it's not, they're not there anymore, those fish. So I thought, ooh, what do I do now? Because I feel like nothing's stopped working again. So I was thinking, shall I put a little nugget of ground bait into this right hand line now? It's not had any bait put on it for quite some time. The little nuggets of ground bait seem to be drawing fish. But instead I just went over it, kinder potted in, little bunch of maggots, and just dropped the rig over it just to see what was already here. And the float went straight under with a nice skimmer. Went back out again without feeding it, went under again with this little skimmer. And then you just saw me again there, hooked the third skimmer, 3 puts. So that was nice. So it's like little bursts of skimmers, and then they're gone again. It's definitely fishing hard. There's guys on good pegs that have only got 1 skimmer to their name, and they're pegs that would normally be framing pegs. So the whole place is fishing really, really hard. I think the best I've seen at the minute's Martin Ray opposite me, he's had 2 carp. I haven't seen it. I mean, that doesn't mean somebody else ain't catching that I can't see, but I feel like 2 carp might be the one in this lake. I'm not far behind 2 carp with the silvers that I've got. So it took a bit more time then, but it went again. With a nice little skimmer. Keep at it. They do like the maggot. They're not really having anything except the maggot today. Always thinking about whether or not I should top up that left hand line again or not, but I feel like we've still got quite a bit of time left in this match, and one false move and you kill your peg if you give it too much. So it's better to wait. If I'm going to push it, it might be the last hour that I push it. Although I might be forced to try and catch a carp in the last hour, depending on what's happening around me. So who knows what's going to happen? But this is a nice little run of fish I've just had off this line here. Four skimmers in 4 puts, and it's not produced much for me up until that point. And I think what's happened here is the wind's changed, and this line here to my right, for some reason, the rig really towed through it really hard. And even if you were holding it back still, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. And now when I've had those run of fish, it stopped towing. The wind had changed, the wind had died off, and I had 3 fish and 3 puts really, really quickly because of that, and I feel like that might be a factor. I feel like that still bait's what they wanted. So I'm trying to keep it still there. Oh, I went under there nicely, but I missed it. And it looks like the maggot might have pulled over the up point now. Let's have a look. So the maggot, the red maggot didn't look right. That's fine. So these bites are reasonably quick compared to the bites I've been getting all day. These bites are nice and quick. Right guys, we're just over 3 hours in. A nice little run of fish to that right hand side as you saw while I had you on the film. And then it was, I also have had I've had a skimmer off that line about £2.5. A bit nicer than £2 to £2.5, much nicer than everything else. That's gone a bit quiet now. The left hand line's gone a bit quiet. I'm catching loads of bites on those 2 lines, but they're little tiny roach and little tiny skimmers at the minute. Can't get the rig to the bottom for them. So I'll put another big pot of I'll just put another big pot of maggots out on this long line. Literally, fish gone straight over it. I've just had a skimmer on it. So I'm dropping in from the second drop now. just fishing three maggots on a big hook because it's a long way for me to ship. I don't want to lose these fish. My elastic's too heavy really for skimmers, but there's always a chance of a carp. And I just lost something small there. There's always a chance of a carp on this, out there in the open water especially. I have foul up to carp on the right hand line where I've been catching well. Like, you know, as the rig was setting, the float just shot off, the elastic ripped out. Very few seconds later I just got a big scale back. So it was definitely foul up. There's carp around shallow. See, make sure, yeah. So getting bites now over the maggot that I've put over that line over there with the maggots, but they're not any bigger, those fish out there. So if they continue to be little diddly things like this, there's absolutely no point in me continuing trying to fish in this wind. As you can see, the wind is blowing the pole around all over the place and it's just chaotic. There's just no point me trying to do that if I can catch these small fish short. I'm hoping that I'm treating it more like a bit of a throwaway line. See, that's a better stamper fish. And I'm feeding it more aggressively. And the wind, it is windy, but I seem to be not doing too bad. I'm slightly sheltered by that island to my right, which is just out of shot, you can't see, but there's another island similar to that island there to the right on this lake, and he's just sheltering me a little bit, so my pole is holdable at the moment. A lot of people can't fish long because their poles aren't holdable. And I feel like that if I'm going to catch some carp later, that'll be where I might catch them from. That's why this rig's got a slightly bigger hook on. It's just slightly more positive because, you know, if I can put 2 or 3 carp on top of a net of silvers, I'll be somewhere. I'll be doing alright in this section today because it's really fishing as hard as I thought it might. So that's where we are. I've put another ball, I've topped up the swim to the right now with a ball, quite a big ball, like a double-handed one. And the swim to the left has had a little ball recently, which I've gone over and just been catching, like I say, eyeballs and stuff. So I'm just giving it as I go along. It's kind of working. So I'm sticking with it for a minute. Yeah, I've definitely come to that big ball and maggot now. So I'm just going to keep at it and plug away and get a few more skim bobs. I mean, if they're going to keep catching them, it's worth shipping that a bit further. It's definitely worth shipping that bit further because the one I am catching some fish short. I'm catching a good some skimmers short, but it's slower than this. And the average stamp's not that good. I can get a few more of them and then the odd better fishing amongst them, that'll be awesome. Wind is making life fun. Skimmer juice. I'm having to put fresh maggots on every time because they're getting smashed up, but I don't mind because they're not speed. It's not speed fishing as such. It's not like it's a fish race or anybody else is catching skimmers really. So this is an 4.4 of a gram rig. Basically it's just number 9s, bulked, strung out bulk, just above the hook length, and I'm just letting it fish itself. It's too windy for me to try and hold it now, so it's alright at the minute, like if you're looking at it now, but in a second there'll be a gust and the window, the bowl will whip round. So all I do is just give it some slack line, let it fish itself. It's nice and heavy and it's doing that. I tried to fish delicate, to holding a back shot, etc. It's just not going to happen today. It's just not right for it. I'm missing bites, but there'll be small fish. Not worried about them. I don't mind missing a few small fish if I eventually hook a carp and get him out. It'll all be worth it. It's another one that's just... So there's a few fish there, which is good. It just gives me somewhere to go. Give these short lines of rest because I've had a good kicking all day. I mean, I'm not setting the world on fire with my silvers, mate, but I've got a weight of silvers which is more than a lot of people have got. It's really hard work trying to keep the line tight with this heavy elastic, but we're getting there. So I'm going to leave me with it, guys, but you can see how it's going. Well, I'm not sure how long we've got left, guys. I ain't checked. It's probably an hour and a half or so. I might as well check while I'm waiting for this fish to come in. So we've got something decent out on the long line. It's 2:15. We're fishing till 4, so we've got an hour and 3/4 left. I don't know what I've got here, how well hooked it is. You know, all I know is it's a better fish than anything else I've had all day. I'm just going to take my time with it. So I've gone out over where I've been feeding a bit heavier on the longer line. I'm just putting maggots on and just getting annoyed by little fish. So I've just put an expander on and see if I can just sort out better skimmers rather than keep bringing little tiny rather than keep bringing back little tiny fish. So that's what I was doing, little tiny roach and whatnot. I had a couple of little skimmers doing it. I thought, well, this is working all right. Then it went funny and I couldn't get a bite. Just about to come back off and top it up, and it's gone undone. It's this, and so this is probably why it went quiet. So I'm just taking my time. No point rushing this fish, it's worth a lot of skimmers. A team event today, not a lot's being caught. Wants to go, I'm just letting it go a little bit, just giving it some. And then my pole's sticking out a long way, but that's because I ain't got enough route. Because the lake behind me is so close, if I push the pole all the way back, it's overhanging the roller too much. It's not good for the pole. It's not good for the guys on the lake behind me either, which is not fair on them, so I push it forward while it's like that. And it just stops the wind. The wind's not going to blow it in or anything then. And I can just concentrate on landing this, because I'm hoping this is as big as it feels. It's swimming very slowly. There's lots of very big fish in this venue. I mean, I'll take a 5-pounder, but I'd like to think if it was a 5-pounder, I'd have tamed it by now. I'd be much happier if it was 15-pound. But at the moment, I'll be happy just to get it out because it's waking up a little bit. Like I say, it could be foul hooked. You just don't know. It's not fighting like a foul hooked fish, and you know, a foul hooked fish, it probably would have turned and busted me by now. If it was a foul hooked fish when it's doing these runs, it just wouldn't stop. You wouldn't be able to turn its head. It seems to be able to every now and again just get its head to turn towards me. I'm assuming it's its head, so. And this is why we've got this elastic on. If we'd have had a proper light, silly, hello ducky. If we'd have had a proper silly light little, sorry, I was talking to the ducky, you couldn't see it. There's a little duck just plopped in next to me. If we'd have had a silly little light elastic on that was alright for not bumping the odd skimmer. I mean, I've lost like 2 or 3 skimmers today, that's all. It's not been, I've got a good compromise, especially if I land this now. This is worth a lot more than them couple of bumped skimmers. He's moving a lot of water, so he's not a baby. We're getting close enough. It's quite deep out there, so we've got a 6 foot, 5.5, 6 foot rig. Yeah, he's a nice fish. A nice fish, this one. Don't want to lose him now. He's a very nice fish. Big mirror. Definitely a double. Oh, he's also nearly went in then. He's getting tired now. He's getting tired. Definitely don't want to lose him now I've seen him. He's just got wrapped around a little bit there and it's just made it hard for me to get him in. Just as he was coming up, the line wrapped around his fin, and so I think the line wrapped around his fin. So I just couldn't get him in. He's off again now. Maybe the line's wrapped around his fin here because he's not turning. Yeah, I think we've turned him again now. He's a right old lump, this one. Really worried about losing him because he's worth a lot of, you know, like I said, I've been trying to get some good points for my team, and this could be, by the end of the day, this could make the difference for 2 or 3 positions finishing on this lake because it's that nice a fish, so you've got to make sure you get him in. I mean, it might make no difference. I might be miles behind, I might be miles ahead, I might be in a position where there's not a lot of difference between me and several other people, but don't know what's going on. I can't pull any yard, and that's bottom of the elastic, that's bottom there. He's definitely wrapped around, he's definitely not in the mouth. He's either not in the mouth or he's wrapped around in a funny way. You didn't want to turn then at all. I feel like I've got him coming in head first at any point. This maybe is foul hooked. Even more important to get him out if we can, because it would be a nice result to get him out now. The only carp I've hooked in 4 or 5 hours of fishing. But no, he's definitely hooked in the chops. He's hooked in the chops. He's in. He might be borderline double now. Oh, he's definitely a double. He's definitely a double. To see now where he's hooked. Not just in the chops. I found these big fish, it's best just not to handle them, because if you handle them, they don't like it. They flap. Yeah, I don't think the hook was coming out. Yeah. He's a good 11 pound here. Click him at 11. Looks like it online. That wasn't from today. Right, first things first, we'll put some bait in where that's from there, because he's definitely feeding down on them maggots. So there we are. That was exactly what I said. I thought might be our best chance of catching a big fish might be this long line. With it being a bit heavy-handed on it, I'm going to be even more heavy-handed on it now. There's a big pot full there, but it's all maggots. This time of year. Big potting maggots seems to be the way to do it. Right, not long landed my carp, just landed my carp. Topped up that long line where I caught the carp from. Tried my right hand line, didn't have anything over it. And then my left hand line where I topped it up. This left hand line weren't producing the fish for me the last few times I went on it, so I thought, right, it's time to give it some bait. So before I went out on that long line, I give it a big pot. You know, quite a lot of bait. And I've had three nice skimmers up in 3 puts now. So I put the cameras on, that'll probably jinx it. The float doesn't seem to be sitting right, so maybe it's a bit of a leaf or something. But yeah, so I've had 3 puts, 3 skimmers. Nice ones, a lot of black ones. So that's what we want. Not, you know, if we're going to be off the carp line for any off the carp for any length of time, then it needs to be catching proper skimmers. Otherwise, it's no good. Because that, you know, if I can sneak out there and get another £10 carp or a couple of £5-pounders or whatever, that's going to be massive to my final weight. So a lot of it, you know, a lot of skimmers for I mean, that's nearly £12 that carp. Definitely now these skimmers are feeding this afternoon, then they've really come on the feed. They want a lot of maggot, I think. I put a fair bit of ground bait in today, and I topped this up with a big ball of ground bait. I'm sure I put a big ball of ground bait in here, 2-handed, just enough, you know, like a ball, but it filled the big potting cup. Seems like I might have spooked them now. I've had 2 or 3 of the bigger members of the shoal. When they were there, that it just settles and it's gone. They're watching it fall through the water. Just having it as it lands. It looks like I've jinxed it by putting the cameras on, but there we are. It's nice though. 3 skimmers in 3 puts. Probably 3 or £4 of fish altogether. Oh, maybe we just had one there. Just as it settled, it went again. Feels like another proper one. So they're definitely just taking it as it drops in. Keep lifting and drop it, lifting the rig up and resetting it, and then it goes. This is the smallest out of them. You know, all the others I had were bigger than this. That just gives you an idea. This is a nice little run of fish I've just had. I'll split the silvers into 2 nets now. Not because I think I'm near the net limit, but just because I'm not sure what I've got. And I don't even want to be worrying about whether I get close to the net limit at the end of the day. I just want to be fishing. I know I'm not going to get to the net limit of carp, so that means my 3rd net can just have carp in it. So that's what I've done in there. Because what happens is I end up worrying about it and it distracts me from what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is see if I can sneak another couple of fish out of here. I might go out long again if the wind lets me. And see if I can sneak another carp or some more skimmers from out there. But I'm going to top up this right hand line with a bit more bait as well now. It seems like you can put a bit of bait in, let it settle, and then the bigger skimmers that are living here just come over it. But the sooner they come over it, then they've gone again. Getting a load of debris in the swim at the minute, which doesn't make for good bite detection. When your float was sitting in amongst a load of leaves, you can't see it properly. They're definitely watching this bait settle. It's just about to settle, the float just dinks and it's on. I'm itching to get out long again and see if I can hook another carp. That'll really put me in a good position to get some good points for the team. Right guys, we've got an hour to go. I had that nice run of fishing, that left hand swim I tried to tell you about, but then I just caught one at the end, didn't I, and then I turned yours off, and then I've no more, so I've gone out long. I've topped up the swim to the right with some more bait, a big ball of bait, and then I've gone out long where I've been with big potted maggots and micros. Fishing expander on the lot out here long, because if I put maggots on, I'm catching the small roach and the small bits and bobs, which are fine on the short lines, just chuck them in the net, but on this longer line, I really don't want to be messing about trying to drag them back. I lose a lot of them because the elastic's not light enough, and it's just quite a waste of time. So what I've done is I've put the expander on, and I found then that you're generally speaking, you're just getting better skimmers, and you're missing out on the roach and stuff, which is fine because it's a pain in the bum, keep going back and forward for them anyway. And of course I've caught that carp on this, so having that stand out bigger bait will select the bigger fish that are in the swim. I've just had a couple of indications on it. Just had a skimmer on it just before I started the camera up. I had 2 or 3 skimmers on it since I went out there, and I thought I'll start the camera up. It's an hour to go, just check the time. It's exactly an hour to go when I turn the cameras on, so this might be the last update I do, depending on what goes on. I feel like I've got a fair bit of footage today, which is nice. But yeah, the float, I'm getting plenty of indications, so there's fish out there. Maybe they're liners, maybe there's a carp there. No, and then, as if to prove me wrong, I catch a small skimmer on the mic on the expander, but it's still not a roach, so that's fine. But yeah, it's one of the smaller skimmers, but we've caught a lot of these smaller skimmers on this line today. Occasionally you'll get something a bit better, but that's that's the smallest fish I want to be coming back with. So with that in mind, I'm actually putting the 6mm expander on. Just to, make sure that the roach are put off. There is like an hour to go, so I'll have a couple more goes on this, and then I might top this up one last time. Have a look from the right where I've topped it up, and see what we've got there, and then I might come back out here again, because I feel like this is my best chance of one more carp. If I catch a carp on my shorter lines, I've got the same elastic in and the same line strength, but I have got smaller hooks on those shorter lines. They're a bit more finesse. They're like little 18s, so if I do, I'll probably be alright with carp to get a carp out, but I could lose a better fish if it pulls hard. The hooks could rip out of it. But take your chances. Got quite a soft 11 elastic on, so always got a chance of getting it out. There's plenty of fish out here. It's not like it needs topping up to bring fish in. It's just, I feel like I might need to top it up to get a carp to come in. Something there now, whether it's a liner or a bite, I don't know. Just a little tiny movement in the float. Quite a lot of lift bites in the last 10 minutes. The last couple of skimmers I've had have been lift bites. Just if we can drop the float there because it's definitely something around. See if I can grab its attention. Yes, that's where we are, looking to try and force a carp out somewhere. The guy 2 pegs to my left's had a couple of carp, a couple of free carp, don't know how big they are. Can't, you know, just can't see what other people have had. It won't take many carp to catch me up, or to be in front of me even already. So who knows what's going to happen as usual. Try not to think about it too much, just try to do what I'm doing. Trying to force a carp out of this swim at the minute. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Check I've still got my expander on. Yeah, it's definitely a bit slow out there. Probably be a lot quicker if I put the maggot on, but like I say, I don't want to catch this more stuff. So that's it, that's the 1 hour to go update. Little lift bite then while I'm talking to you. 1 hour to go. It's quite slow. Trying to work out how I can nick a carp or two in the end to top up my silvers. I've done well on the silvers, but can't help but think it might not be enough. For good section, you know, just for good section points, which is ultimately what it's all about. It's all well and good saying, oh, we've caught a lot of silvers and it was a good fun day, but we need some section points. So, ooh, got a bite there. Right, I'll leave you guys unless I catch something interesting again, and you won't see me till the end. Thank you.